as individuals, as a collective. And I think I'm just really stoked for the whole night to kick off. So I think with that, Adi, do you want to call up our first performer to the mic to kick things off?
Sure, thanks so much, Bile. So this first person I want to call up to the mic is someone who actually comes to us virtually from the Subdrift New York scene, but she's quickly made a name for herself with many of us. And I saw there was some chatter in the chat earlier that she was actually inspired by a lot of the discussion on social media about what was happening in response to recent events, and that she has a new poem to share with us that speaks to that. So I want to invite her to step up to our virtual mic and stage and tell us about what that's all about. So Shymala, we'd love to welcome you back once again. Oh, Shymala, we can't hear you. No, I still.
Maybe try unplugging your headphones if they're still plugged in.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, good. Sorry about that. Yeah, okay. We're all processing, right? And there's so much conversation. Listening to the dialogues online made me remember a lot of questions that I asked myself a long time ago. And now they sort of have to be asked again. And so this is what happened. Who am I? What am I doing here? What is this place? What do we do? I used to play on a rifle range when I was a child. So safe I thought I was, on the grounds of the military college where my father worked. My child's hands tickling guppies in the clear waters at the bottom of the monsoon drain. And on an empty field, tickling love grass not so many feet above bodies in a World War II mass grave, hopeful of finding bones. Gleefully terrifying ourselves with speculation that some of that white knobbly stones were bones. Not understanding, because we were children, that the bones had been inside people who had once walked and talked and perhaps played in that same field before we came, played with our parents, not understanding war, not understanding. Because it never flooded when we children were down in the drains. Young trainee soldiers, lonely for little brothers and sisters, gave us sweets if they saw us on the rifle range. Sergeants, of course a sterner force, shouted at us, or worse, dragged us home to our parents to be shouted at again, and of course sometimes beaten in hopes of civilizing us. Auntie said of me, she's like a wild thing, which, you know, should really be a compliment. It takes a little fierceness to survive. So I ran away, first down the road at age 4, till my father came to fetch me home with promises of tea, cake, and understanding. Later, I ran away to America, again sure of safety. Had not the soldiers with the guns handed out sweets? Land of the brave and the free, where everyone is equal. Yet, where the best neurosurgeons in Texas are threatened by ICE because of the brownness of their skins, and a Chinese doctor gets beaten up while buying PPE for his hospital staff with his own money. And they still continue. They continue. When it's not only young soldiers who carry guns, where it's not only young soldiers who carry guns, where they are fired off the range, where sergeants say he was having a bad day about the murderer, as families whose ancestors lived through that same long ago war with those same mass graves I grew up around, put on white or black mourning clothes and grieve their loved ones. His bullets hit without understanding their bones are the same color as his bones. And yet skin matters. So tickle the guppies in your monsoon drains, see them swim over your skin. Watch the love grass close at a touch of your finger, of your skin, and open again to dew or sun. Open again yourself. Touch, skin to skin and heart to heart. in white or black or every color in between, touch, pray, love, understand, continue. Thank you, Payal, Pratik, Chistasa, Madhu, everyone else for, there were practical things I should have been doing today, but this was better.
Thank you so much, Shymala, for sharing that with us, and something that's so born of this moment and speaks to this moment and moments past, and also just the process of being engaged with community as part of what moved you to create this. I think just speaks to why we do this and why we're all here together today. So just thank you once again, and so much love and support coming for you in the chat. Because people really resonating with everyone.
Thank you so much, Shymala. I think Adi really summed it up well, and I am always appreciative of just the honesty with which you discuss these experiences with like military and living in those spaces and navigating that and how it still impacts you. I think it's a conversation I don't think happens enough when we think about here versus there and realize that those places aren't that far away from each other.
And
And
I
there are
wanted to
these
say
connecting
that the
threads.
strengths that you young people need, you have, they're born in you, they're bred in you, they're in your heritage. And you reminded me to ask myself those questions again, and I came with those answers. So I wanted to remind you too, it's yours, you have it.
Thank you, Shymala. Thank you for sharing that with us.